These days, everyone and their mother makes controllers, and only a few stand out, like the GameSir G7 Pro I reviewed recently. But this one is also different, and oddly enough, not many people are talking about it. This is the Mobapad HuBen 2. It looks normal at first, but inside are capacitive contactless sticks. That's something we've rarely, if ever, seen before. There are three main ways to read a thumbstick: mechanically with potentiometers, or contactless with Hall sensors or TMR. Potentiometers wear out over time, and that's when sticks start to drift. We see this a lot on standard Xbox, Nintendo, or PlayStation controllers. A step up are Hall sensors. They use magnets. When you move a stick or trigger, a magnet shifts position, and the sensor measures the magnetic field to track movement without physical wear. TMR is even better. It works in a similar way, but detects tiny resistance changes in special thin film layers when exposed to a magnetic field, giving extremely precise readings. The thumbsticks are super precise. I measured nearly perfect circle values and negligible drift. These are excellent results. The wireless polling rate sits around 930 to 940 Hz, which is also excellent. The stick movement analysis shows over 4,000 data points, and the tremor rate matches the stick's movement. This means there's no smoothing involved, which is also super nice. So we've got some excellent thumbsticks here that will probably never drift. But that's only half the reason I decided to make a video about this controller. The other half is the price and the build quality. It's only 80 bucks, sometimes even as low as 65. You don't get a dock though, even though the connector pins are already on the back. Build quality is top notch, the plastic feels super sturdy, and the grips are a bit softer without being rubber, so they should hold up very well over time. The glossy faceplate is magnetic and interchangeable. Yes, I said glossy. I have no idea who thought a glossy finish was a good idea for a controller, but here we are. It looks nice, sure, but it tracks fingerprints like crazy. Now, let's check out the rest of the inputs. First highlight is the D-pad. Nice, clicky microswitches with a bit more resistance than on the GameSir G7 Pro, which, if you remember, was my only gripe with that one. It feels amazing, and I love playing stuff like Hollow Knight, Super Metroid, and Red Dead Redemption 2 with it. Same goes for the buttons. Clicky microswitches, not too soft, with just the right amount of resistance for my taste. The rest of the front buttons use tactile switches, and they feel alright. Nothing special, but what else would you use? If you flip the controller around, you immediately notice the trigger stops. Engaging them turns your triggers into clicky microswitches. They are not as tight as the GameSirs and always have a bit of pre-travel even in full analog mode, which kind of defeats the point. Not optimal and definitely something that should be improved, but it's manageable and not a deal breaker for me. Then there's a switch to select between wireless dongle, Bluetooth and switch mode. You also get 4 fully programmable tactile buttons. You can map keyboard, mouse and gamepad inputs to them, or even macros. Speaking of the software, it's stable, straightforward, and never got on my nerves once. It also doesn't require a login or other shenanigans. You can store different profiles directly on the controller. There's a button test mode to make sure everything works as intended, and of course a ton of options to customize the gamepad. You can set dead zones for each stick, activate motion controls, configure the triggers, set turbo modes for each button, activate and configure the pad's HD rumble feature, and last but not least, there's customization for the RGB lighting. So what's to like about this controller and what not? I love the excellent haptics, materials and engineering. All microswitches supplied by Omron, by the way, feel great and give excellent feedback. The capacitive sticks are top notch, the wireless polling rate is up there, and there isn't much RGB. And if that still bothers you, you can just turn it off. What I think is at least questionable is the glossy faceplate. Seriously, I still don't get who thought that was a good idea for a controller. It looks nice for about 10 seconds and then turns into a greasy thumb parade. The pre-travel is also annoying and really takes away from the otherwise excellent triggers. I hope Mobapad can get rid of it in future iterations of the controller. For 80 bucks, I think that's a great deal. In the EU, that's around 67 euros, including shipping. If you want to support the channel, feel free to use my affiliate link in the description. Compared to the G7 Pro, you're missing the dock and the extra shoulder buttons, which I actually find pretty handy. But the HuBen 2 is cheaper, has a better D-pad, and in my opinion comes with the better software. Thanks for watching, subscribe for more videos, maybe including me finally trying out Silksong, and I'll see you in the next one.